Okay, here's our second page, page 2 of our math test review B, math test 1. Okay, school's packing up math and science books. Send back. There are 1,241 books for each subject. Okay, so how many, if I can fit 12 in a box, how many boxes do I need? Well, since each subject has that, the first thing I'm going to do is just add those up to figure out how many I have total. 2, 8, 4, 2. That's how many total books I have. Now I can break them into boxes of 12. Since I'm breaking them into equal amounts of 12, that is division. Okay, I'm putting equal amounts. Each box represents a section, and I want to fill each section. So I'm going to divide these. So I'm going to 2,482 divided by 12. Top and bottom out, so that's going to be like that, and 12. 12 does not go into 2, but it goes in 24 twice. That is 24. I subtract, I get a 0. I'm not done because I have more numbers. Bring down the 8. 12 does not go into 8. I have to put the 0 above the 8 in order to bring down the 2. 12 goes into 82 6 times. 6 times 12 is 72. I subtract, I get 10 with a remainder of 10. Now, how many boxes do I need? Well, I can't buy 206 remainder 10 boxes, so I have to buy 207 boxes. I have to round this up because I have to make sure. So the last box will not be jam-packed with books. There'll only be 10 books in there, but I need to get that box anyways. All right, number 8. Mr. Spawn has a board that's 4 7/12 feet long. A fifth of the board is rotten and not usable. How much of the board is rotten and not usable? A fifth of the board. 1/5 of the board. The 4 7/12 represents the board, so this is 1/5 of 4 7/12, so I'm going to do 4 7/12 times 1/5. Of stands for multiplication. Of stands for multiplication. So when I multiply these, I must turn them into improper fractions first. 4 times 12 is 48, plus 7 is 55 over 12, times 1 over 5. I can cross-cancel here. Not the 1 and the 12, nothing goes there, but I can cross-cancel the 55 and the 5. I can divide them both by 5. That becomes 11. That becomes 1. Now I can multiply across. 11 times 1 is 11. 12 times 1 is 12. How much of the board is rotten and not usable? 11 twelfths. Oops. 11 twelfths. I'm going to write that. Feet is not usable. Okay, so that word of is your clue that this is a multiplication problem. Okay, number 9. Explain in words how you find the difference of 4 2/5 minus 1 7/10. You need to use those words in your explanation. Circle them. Okay, so when I'm going to subtract these, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a common denominator. Okay, so first you need to find a common denominator. There's my first word, a denominator. Okay, to find the common denominator, I have to make equivalent fractions. Okay, so to make common denominators, I need to create equivalent fractions. There's my second word. So then I want to start talking about these in examples. So the common denominator for this example would be 10. Common denominator is 10. All right. To make 4 2/5 have a denominator of 10, I need to multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. That will give me 4 and 4/10. Now that I have 4 and 4/10, I can subtract them. Except I cannot subtract 4 minus 7. Okay, I now have 4 and 4/10 minus 1 and 7/10. I cannot do 4 minus 7, so now I need to borrow. Next, I need to borrow or regroup from the 4 to get 3 and 14/10. Finally, I can subtract. Okay, 3 and 14/10 minus 1 and 7/10 equals 2 and 7/10. Circle, I did not circle borrow, and here's my word numerator. So sometimes I use the word more than once, but I don't always have to. Okay, and you could even go into describing the subtraction. I should describe that. Okay, I'm going to subtract the whole numbers. I'm going to subtract the numerators, and the denominator stays the same. Whoops. That's how you subtract mixed numbers. Okay? Alright, last question. Question 10, error analysis. What's my error? Well, my error is I just did 2 times 2 equals 4, 1 times 2 equals 2, and 3 times 4 equals 12. That is incorrect. You must turn mixed numbers into improper fractions when multiplying. That was my mistake. Okay, when multiplying. So now I want to correct it. So 2 and 1/4 times 2 and 2/3 turns into 9/4 times 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8/3. Cross cancel. Divide these both by 4, so that becomes 1 and 2. Divide these both by 3, so that becomes 1 and 3. I get 6 over 1, and 6 over 1, guys, equals 6. And that is our second video. So that's page 2. If you need to go back and watch any of that again, go ahead, listen to it. Make sure you know how to do these for your test tomorrow. Have a great night.